We've arrived at the car park on my own again today. So Byron's Canevo's broken. That's currently off getting repaired from Ford last weekend. And then he went on my Levo this week with me up around Bike Park and he broke the wheel. So there's no option. It's me, myself and I today. So we're at the bottom of the gap. So I've done it twice before. Well, I've done Big twice before. I haven't done the gap before. So I'm going to see what it's like when I get up there to see if it's cold and windy. If it is, I'm going to do the gap. If it's not, I'm going to head up to Big. So that's my plan today. I'm fully kitted. I got a microphone on. I've got my gimbal. I got the drone. I've got the Insta360. So I look like a complete nerd. Don't care. Right, I'll see you up there. Let's go. So we've parked today at the bottom of the gap climb, which is instead of our usual Pontsticill Reservoir, which basically means I get to the pub a lot quicker. Priorities, right? This car park is near the Talybont train station. I think I've got that right, on the Brecon Mountain Railway. I'll throw the What 3 Words link into the description below so you don't end up in the middle of nowhere. I promise. Big news though, I finally got a quad lock sorted. No more stopping every 5 minutes to check my route. Life's about to get so much easier on my future rides. But, and there's always a but, I still haven't sorted the handlebar mount out for the Insta360. So today, it's awkwardly strapped to my chest again like some kind of action cam body armour. You'll get the idea though. Hopefully by the next ride, I'll be fully kitted out and not looking like I'm preparing for battle. Alright, we're off the tarmac and straight on to the first gap climb. But we're taking a new route this time because the old way, yeah, that is sketchy with a capital S. Picture this, right? You've got a steep, rocky chute that drops you straight down to a stream. And that's the easy part. It's the hiker bike up the other side that feels like you were climbing Everest whilst carrying a 26 kilogram rucksack. It's ridiculous. But not today. This route is so much easier. I can actually enjoy the gentle climb while casually dodging the traffic of people heading the same way. It's like rush hour today. We're on the mountain. What's going on? We get the slightest bit of good weather and every man and his dog is out. Alright, looks like there's finally a gap in the traffic. Perfect time to get the drone up. 10 points if it hits someone on the way down, right? Just kidding, kinda. Now you can finally see what I'm dealing with on this climb. It's not really that steep, as you can see, but it's once you get to the top and you start descending, that's when it starts getting interesting. There's nothing like a bit of sharp, loose stone and rock to keep things interesting on this climb. It's not exactly technical, but trust me, you still need to stay sharp. One wrong move and bam, you suddenly find yourself having to put those arm day gym sessions into action to repair that dreaded puncture. And let's be honest, who doesn't love spending 20 minutes or an hour by the side of the trail, swearing at the stubborn inner tube, losing valuable pub time? So the Gap, an iconic route for mountain bikers in Wales that definitely doesn't disappoint. Climbing up past some of the highest peaks in South Wales, with Pen y Fan at 886 metres, Cribyn at 795 metres, and then Fanabig at 717 metres, with the infamous diving board on the top. You'd be forgiven for thinking that you've landed straight into Jurassic Park, to be fair. I mean, if a velociraptor popped out from behind a rock, I wouldn't even be surprised at this point. And get this, the route follows an ancient Roman road, which means you're literally riding through history. So technically, this is educational, right? But let's be honest, the real reason this starting point is a winner. You pass several pubs with the halfway mark in Talybont. Well, couldn't be more perfect. Fantastic for that summer stop in a beer garden before tackling the final climb up the Brinore. Because nothing says I'm ready for a steep climb like a pint and a packet of crisps. Hope you can hear me all right. Just got to the Gap, so to my left is Fanabig and the diving board, and behind me is up to Cribyn, Cornby, and obviously Pen y Fan. So we've just, let me just take you over here, turn you around a bit. So that's where we've just come up. It's really, really windy, so the drone's just not going to go up now. So yeah, you've got the camera only today. And then down here, down there is where I'm going. So yeah, I normally go, let me see if you can see, normally go the sheep track, which is diagonally there. And but it is like a motorway today, so fun times. Is what it is, but I love this ride. So hopefully we can invite Paul for lunch and in Talybont, but it is freezing and it's windy, and yeah, all is good, right? So yeah, see you in a bit. So Fanabig, which translates to peak of the point or pointed summit. Basically, the name comes from its distinctive shape, which forms a sharp, pointed ridge at the summit. If you ever stood at the famous diving board rock, which I mentioned earlier, you'll know exactly why it's called that. However, even though Fana Big stands at 717 metres, making it part of Brecon Beacons horseshoe loop, which includes Cribbin, Cornby and Pen of Anne as well, it was controversially demoted from mountain status in 2018 because it's just a few metres short of the 2,000 feet or 610 metre threshold. So technically it's now classed as a hill, but hey, it's still got a big reputation. So while the name might raise a few eyebrows, it's really just a nod to the mountain's pointy shape. And let's be honest, it's still an epic place to ride. You may now be thinking that you've fallen asleep for the final section of the descent, but fear not. My Insta360 decided to stop recording right at the good bit. Can you believe it? Seriously, technology must hate me. I was absolutely sending it down towards Brecon, grinning like an idiot the whole way, only to realise at the bottom I've got zero footage to show for it. I guess there's only one thing for it. I'm gonna have to do it all again sometime soon. And now, you're catching up with me as I sulk my way along the Brecon and Monmouthshire Canal, contemplating life and why my gadgets always choose the worst moments to let me down. The Brecon and Monmouthshire Canal, the perfect place to catch my breath after the gap tried to turn me into a human jackhammer, for God's sake. This scenic beauty stretches 35 miles from Brecon to Pontsticill, winding through some stunning countryside. With a few picturesque locks thrown in, it's hands down the best and the flattest route to get me to the White Hart in Talybont for that well-deserved pint and a bite to eat. As for Paul, well, let's just say his navigational skills are about as reliable as my derailleur last weekend. I'm half expecting him to text me saying he somehow ended up at a chip shop in Scotland. Right, just met Paul then.
Cheers.
Cheers.
With a pint in his hand again.
He's always got a pint in his hand.
I'm not alcoholic, honest.
Always. Yeah, you are. No, you know. To be fair, you don't drink.
No.
Neither of us do we?
No.
But I do like a pint when I've earned it. My favourite time of the day. Cheers. So we've just got to the White Hart Inn in Talybont. Quite late because obviously I've been messing about up on top of the gap. But hey. So yeah, just ordered curry with half and half and a pint. See, everywhere seems to be doing this Peretti lately. So yeah, it was also in the ancient Britain as well. So oh, that's a nice milk. That is perfect. Right, I'm gonna drink this. Chicken curry with half and half. Can't beat it. With a pint. Perfect. What a cracking lunchtime while I'm on the bike. Right, I'm gonna gobble this.
I wouldn't say it's cold.
It's not the warmest, is it?
No, it's bloody freezing.
Gloves on, hat on.
Your fault.
What else would we be doing? Sitting on the sofa doing nothing? Because
Yep.
we're not away this weekend, are we?
No.
Right, check in. Right. Grub's done. Alcohol's drunk. Only one. And I best get myself back on that bike to warm up. The fire was roaring in the pub, but it was quite busy because there's a match on. I think it's Italy versus Ireland, I think. So, yeah, I did try and stand by the fire for a bit, but there was too many people in there. So, I guess I'll head back now. Oh, oh. Right. Off we go. The Brinore climb, the final piece of the big gap pie, or as I like to call it, the endless uphill grind of regret. Starting from the White Hart in Talybont with a belly full of chips, curry and a pint, this climb hits differently. It starts all innocent-like, gently teasing you with a bit of gravel and some nice views, but before you know it, boom! It turned into a never-ending slog that has you questioning why you've even decided to do this route today. Just a quick pause to show you some epic views of Talybont Reservoir from the climb, except not from today. The wind wasn't crazy, but just annoying enough to make me think twice about sending the drone off to explore the Brecon Beacons on its own. So enjoy this throwback footage from when the conditions were slightly more in my favour. The gradient isn't crazy, but it drags on forever. Just when you think you've hit the top, surprise! Another corner, another climb. It's like the hill is laughing at you. And if you've had one too many pints at the pub, forget it. You'll be pushing your bike faster than you can pedal it. But hey, at least the views are worth it, right? Stunning panoramas of the Brecon Beacons distract you just long enough from the pain in your legs. And by the time you reach the top, you'll feel like you've conquered Everest. Or at least survived another round of, why do I do this to myself? Alright, so let's talk about the Brinore Tramroad in a bit more detail. Because yes, this climb isn't just a leg burner, it's got a bit of history too, and it's quite interesting. It was built in the early 19th century. The Brinore Tramroad was used to transport coal, limestone and iron from the quarries in the Brecon Beacons down to the canal at Talybont. Horse-drawn wagons would rumble down this route, making it an industrial lifeline back in the day. Today, however, we're basically riding through history. Only instead of hauling coal, I'm hauling my sorry self up this never-ending climb. My bike battery is now down to 13% and I'm probably running on even less, I'm not going to lie. This is where the finger post points to either Pontsticill or Treffil. I'm heading back towards Pontsticill this time, which means a fab ride through Copper Canyon, around the reservoir and passing the Brecon Mountain Railway also. This route is super fun, rutted in places but easy enough to handle when it's dry. But in the wet, oh, it's full on slip and slide. Once you hit the gate on the other side, things do get spicy. The descent down to Copper Canyon is steeper, rockier and loaded with loose boulders to dodge. It's a bit more technical, but so worth it. Now the real suspense. Will I make it back before my battery dies? And will Paul actually be where he should be? Let's find out. Right, back on the Copper Canyon Road and heading towards the van, finally. This is just a nice, straightforward fire road to cool down after the 22 miles we've just smashed out today. Legs are dead, arse is dead, but the Amflow still powering through with 5% battery left like an absolute champ. No loss in power, no limp mode, it just keeps powering on. Honestly, if I was on the Levo, it would have clocked out halfway up that last climb. So I'll shut up now and let you enjoy the last mile. Unless I run out of battery or Paul's parked in the wrong spot again. Well, that's a wrap on today's ride. What a cracking ride it's been, fair play. I've really enjoyed it. It's been really cold, colder than I was expecting it to be, because the weather was like, yeah, it's nice and sunny today. Yeah, it lied. Although it wasn't raining, was it? Let's face it. So it can only be a good day. But a nice curry and half in the pub, a nice pint, and yeah,
I've got. That was a lovely curry.
Was a good curry, wasn't it? Yeah, it definitely.
Especially homemade curry, it was lovely.
Yeah.
And there was plenty of it.
Oh yeah, it was a big big portion. I couldn't eat hardly any of it. Half of it I think I had.
That's why I had two.
Yeah. Yeah, you know exactly what you're doing, don't you? Yeah, nice pint. And then I got home, I got back to the car in Pontsticill Res with the range of 1 mile. And it was like 3% battery, so I managed that well today. And that again was all in turbo, to be fair. So yeah, that bike really takes everything I'm throwing at it. So yeah, we're just heading back to Merthyr now and heading home. So I shall be signing off. Have a good one.